Hello YouTubers, this video is about teacups and bowls. So it goes from the beginning. I've already put a bat on the wheel and attached that. That allows for easy removal of wet pots and continual throwing. So the bats are really helpful for that, so you don't warp your bowls. So this video is from the very beginning of the process. So I've already prepared and weighed the clay, throwing the vessels, then drying, turning, decorating. My decorating's a simple fluting, generally on domestic ware. Not that I'm a production potter. I get a little bit bored doing the same thing all of the time. So every little series is quite different, as you will see. I'll explain more as I go, but it goes right through to my morning strolls on the beach, and then getting to work with the turning, and the glazing, the bisque firing, which comes before glazing, then the glazing day, and the glaze firings, and ultimately taking my pottery for visits to my favourite places on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland. So we go to the beach, we go for walks along Maroochy River, we go into my garden, which ranges from many things to tropical, and of course my studio cat. Love having him around. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy, and I'll explain processes as we go. Here we have teacups. They've been thrown and they are drying, so they'll dry for a day or two, and then I will turn them. I'm really lucky we bought a second wheel, which I have on the veranda. It's quite an old stand-up wheel. It's wonderful to have the second wheel when my studio gets to 40 degrees, 35, 40 degrees sometimes, and it's just too hot to work there, so I can continue down here on the veranda. The teacups are dry enough to turn now, so I'm turning them off, and then I will flute them as well, which is the decoration that I normally implement, and sometimes carving. I like that rock style carving feature as well on my domestic ware, and some of my hanging planters, which I'll feature later in a later video. Back in Studio One today. It's morning, so it's a little bit cooler. Good chance I'll be heading back onto the veranda as the day goes on. Probably get to about 35 in there today. Beautiful day out here. Creek's still running after all the rain. I spent a big morning a couple of days ago digging out drains for flooding, but not as bad as a lot of Australians experience. Just my studio flooded, but it's all good and I'm back to work. Okay, have a great day everyone. Bye. The creek next to my studio, just a few meters away, often floods. Well, not often, probably yearly. And it's quite up at the moment, so I'm just showing a few of the videos from when it's full. Often it is an empty creek and a dry creek bed. And when it's like this, I generally stay away from the studio because it's a bit scary in case it breaks its banks. But it's quite an impressive little creek when it gets going. After turning the pots on the wheel and doing the fluting or whatever decoration is chosen, for example, sometimes I also use underglazes, and there'll be videos later on where I do underglaze inlay and slip work. So these have been basically carved or sgraffitoed or engraved, and now they've gone into the kiln and bisque firing process occurs. The final part of the magic is when we glaze and have our glaze firing. So that's the second firing. Here these bowls were reduction fired down at Caloundra Arts Centre, where I was a member. So some of my glaze firings I was fortunate enough to do with the members down there. So the glaze firing will be the last step in the process, unless of course you like to do luster firing, so that's with pure gold or platinum, and that is a third firing. And I do have some videos later that I will show you some of the processes of that particular technique as well. So that is a very brief summary of the journey of the pottery. And of course the next process for me is taking the pottery out and about and then using the pottery. So you'll see in later videos also the pottery being used for cooking, for domestic wear, as pieces of art, items of art that you can enjoy using. I hope you enjoyed my video.